After receiving mysterious invitations, 10 people arrived on an island for a party. One by one, each of them started to die. From cyanide poisoning to axe wounds, it became clear to the party guests that these deaths were not mere accidents. The name of the murderer was Owen. Owen Was Her is one of the most popular songs from the Touhou Project series of video games. It's a song with a chilling melody that has an air of mystery to it, and is soon going to be 20 years old. There's a lot of history attached to this song that helped contribute to both its and Touhou's rise in popularity. That's what I'll be talking about today. The first thing we need to know to truly understand the meaning of Owen Was Her is the character the song is based around. The song first appeared in the 6th Touhou game, Touhou, Embodiment of the Scarlet Devil. It plays in the game's extra stage when you fight the boss, and serves as a bonus challenge following the main adventure. The extra stage happens in the basement of the mansion where the main game took place. After a quick scuffle with some monsters and the mansion's librarian, the player finds themselves face to face with a tiny vampire. Now admittedly, this isn't entirely new to players. The final boss of this game was also a tiny vampire, but something is off. The girl's name is Flandre Scarlet, and she's 495 years old. She spends most of her time hidden away in the basement. However, the player's scuffle with the final boss of the game, who's her older sister, has prodded her curiosity. This new vampire wanted to leave the mansion, but the librarian you fought earlier conjured rain magic to stop her from leaving, as vampires cannot safely travel through rain. As everyone knows, of course. So, why go through all this effort to stop a tiny vampire from leaving a mansion? Well, Flandre is insanely powerful. The attacks she sends at the player are relentless, but unlike other bosses they fought before, the attacks are more playful. She treats the bullet patterns like a game, making mazes of love, and at one point in the fight, even clones herself. She's still trying to beat you, but she's also trying to have fun. So, why did she stay in the basement for so long? 2 reasons. 1, she actually likes living in the basement. She finds it pretty cozy. But 2, Flandre is a bit unhinged. She's emotionally unstable, and a flip of emotions outside of the mansion she's confined to could very well spell disaster. Her attacks are playful, yeah, but they're also super deadly. This image of a tiny, playful, bloodthirsty, powerful, and unhinged vampire left its impact on the fandom for sure, and despite her few appearances in the main series, Flandre Scarlet remains a fan-favorite character to this day. But then, how does Flandre connect to her song? The song is called Owen Was Her, with the Owen referring to Flandre herself. But what does Owen mean? To answer this, we have to take a look at the classic murder mystery novel, And Then There Were None, written by Agatha Christie and originally released back in 1939. The story is about 10 people who are mysteriously invited to an island, and are then slowly killed off one by one as retribution for crimes they've committed in the past. The hosts who invited them to the island are named Ulick Norman Owen and Una Nancy Owen. When the party guests realize that none of them actually knows the hosts, one of the guests deduces that Ulick Norman and Una Nancy are part of a play on words. UN Owen. Unknown. The name of the murderer is unknown. Now, even if you haven't read the book, I'm pretty confident you can conclude that Owen was not in fact a tiny vampire girl. But Touhou follows its own timeline. In an official Touhou story, also about a series of deaths, a girl dies the exact same way as the character Vera Claythorne from And Then There Were None. Because of this, the girl in the story is theorized to be Vera Claythorne, which would connect Touhou to And Then There Were None even further. But despite Vera's appearance, the other party guests from And Then There Were None are nowhere to be seen. So, What happened to the other guests? If you and Owen was her, then in the Touhou world, is Flandre you and Owen? Did she kill the other guests? Well, here's the thing. We don't know. That part of Flandre is a mystery, which I think is reflected extremely well in the song. You have no idea what she's going to do, and the music exhibits a sort of creepy atmosphere to go along with those thoughts. But the song isn't all creeps. It alternates between chilling and confident. When Flandre fights you, she's sure she's going to win, and the triumphant chorus that the song is most famous for reflects that. You and Owen Was Her is an outstanding composition, but it's also clearly a song with Flandre in mind. It's a song that works because of the character and backstory that empower it, which is the reason it became the breakout track of Touhou 6. So, half of the reason why You and Owen Was Her became popular involves a murder mystery novel and a destructive vampire. That's pretty wicked. But that's not really the reason the song became popular outside of the Touhou fanbase. So, how did a song from a fairly obscure Japanese bullet hell series find its way into the more general gaming community? Well... So, what the hell is this? Huh? This is the McRoll. Give me a minute or two to explain. From 2004 to 2007, a series of commercials featuring Ronald McDonald came out in Japan. In one of them, he demonstrates the Ran Lan Lu. Lan Lan Lu. He explains that he does the Lan Lan Lu whenever he's happy, and well, the absurdity of this commercial and some of the others led to them being edited together into several montages. While the original upload is lost, sometime in 2007, the McRoll was uploaded to Nico Nico. It didn't start the trend of Ronald McDonald videos, but it certainly helped make the trend more popular. If you were to sum up the internet from 15 years ago in one video, it'd probably be this. Of course, humor is subjective, but I mean, I still think it's pretty funny. Shortly after, in 2008, an English user re-uploaded the video to YouTube. The person used the description to explain several aspects of Touhou, like how the characters lived in a place called Gensokyo. And believe it or not, this, of all videos, is what truly sparked the beginning of the Western Touhou fanbase. Past the memes, people realized, wait a second, this song actually slaps. And so from this one video, an interest in Touhou emerged. But doesn't this seem a little anticlimactic? The mystery and intrigue behind Flandre Scarlet has been reduced to some Ronald McDonald meme. Is this really where the story behind the song's popularity ends? Well, here's the thing about the McRoll. Half of the video is about the original song. You know, the original version composed by a man who goes by the name of Zune. The other half is... This certainly is different. The other half of the McRoll features a remix of You and Owen Was Her called Last Brutal Sister, Flandre S. This remix was created by the Dojin Circle, Cool and Create. For those who don't know, a Dojin Circle is a sort of fan group that makes fan works. The remix recontextualizes the song to be a lot more energetic, which makes it way more intense. It thrives off of Flandre's supposed playful brutality. This mix existed before the McRoll, so in Japan at least, the mysterious intrigue of the song and the character behind it wasn't really lost. It was celebrated. You can even hear Flandre laughing in the background during certain parts of the remix. The McRoll is definitely what introduced You and Owen Was Her and Touhou to the West. But I don't think that's the reason the song has longevity. It's a funny meme, but unless you're this guy, memes will only get you so far in terms of memory. I don't really think about Neon Cat that much anymore, but I tend to listen to You and Owen Was Her quite a bit. What keeps You and Owen Was Her relevant are the same reasons the song became popular in the first place. The character behind the song, that character's backstory, and the overall strength of the composition. Sure, the West needed a goofy video as a push, but after that push, people learned about Touhou, and they learned about the mystery behind Flandre Scarlet. That's not to say, however, that the McRoll isn't without merit. You and Owen Was Her is in what I would call the Megalovania state. Within their given context, and even from just listening to the original versions and some remixes, both of these songs are epics that define their own eras of video game music. But people also have a lot of fun with them. There are so many memes based around You and Owen Was Her, and they're always a treat to either watch or listen to. The song is popular from both the lighthearted and serious connotations contributed to it throughout the years. In a way, You and Owen Was Her parallels Flandre Scarlet. When looking at Flandre Scarlet, there's a suspenseful feeling of mystery embodied within the Scarlet Devil. But she's also a playful girl who loves her sister, the residents in the mansion, and hanging around the basement. When she battles the player, she isn't really fighting maliciously, she just wants to have fun. Flandre is a bit more than the murder-hungry psychopath the fanbase sometimes makes her out to be. Just like how You and Owen Was Her is a bit more than just a boss theme. It's a song that represents fear, a song that represents confidence, and thanks to the fans, a song that represents pure fun. Hey, thanks for watching. Want to give a huge thanks to my friend Ice Lemon, they drew the thumbnail for me. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Delta Pi. Both of our channels have been growing around the same time, and they've done 2 videos on You and Owen. You can find a link to one of them in the end card.